नमयों विष्णुपादाय श्रीगौरप्रियमूर्तये श्रीमते भक्तिवल्लभतीर्थगोस्वामी नामिने कृपया क्षमतामपराधिजनं खलुषायुतशक्तसुदीननरं सुपथे परिचालय सर्वदिनं प्रणमामि च माधवदेवपदम् वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। So we are going through the 9th canto, 4th chapter from Srimad Bhagavatam, the holy life of Ambarish Maharaj. Yesterday we heard how Maharaj Ambarish, he engaged all his sense organs in the service of Supreme Lord. The first thing is that he has engaged his mind. Mind is the master of all the sense organs, and when the mind is engaged, then all the other sense organs are automatically engaged. Therefore, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur has written in the commentary, yesterday we read, that just like mind is the master or the king of all the sense organs, Ambarish Maharaj is the king of the entire planet Earth. Because he himself was engaged in the devotion of the Lord, all his subjects, all the members of his kingdom, they also engaged themselves in the service of the Supreme Lord. So, now we'll continue from verse number 21. Evang sada karma kalapamatmanah pare adhiyagye bhagavatyadhokshaje sarvatma bhavang vidadhan mahimimam तन्निष्ठ विप्राभिहितः शशासः। महाराज अम्बरीश सर्वत्र भगवत भावयुक्त निजकर्म समूह सर्वजज्ञेर भोक्ता परतत्व भगवान श्री कृष्णे समर्पण पूर्वक भगवन्निष्ठ विप्रगणेर उपदेश अनुसारे पृथ्वी पालन करितेन। So King Ambarish or the Emperor Ambarish, by following the instructions of the priests who were devotees, he had engaged, he was of course ruling the planet Earth, but all his activities were completely in devotional mode. He was Bhagavad Bhavayukta. all his activities, even though he was ruling the world, he was rich with the qualities of the Supreme Lord. In the sense that he was not ruling as he is the master, he is the controller, and he is all in all, but he is ruling as a devotee would. Means, in the ego of a devotee, I am servant of Supreme Lord. That ego is essential. Like in this material world, when we are performing any activity, when we think that we are the doers, if we think we are the doers, then that is the problem of our trouble. But Ambarish Maharaj was not ruling the planet Earth thinking that he is the ruler, because he has Bhagavad Bhava. He was completely rich with the mood of devotion. Mood of devotion means a devotee always thinks that I am of the Supreme Lord. This world belongs to him. Therefore, temporarily I have been given the responsibility to take care of it. Any moment it may go. That is why we heard that the entire earth or whatever opulence he has seen it as a lump of mud. That's all, nothing else. He thought very, very insignificant. Because this material riches or opulences, they are temporary. Today they are there, tomorrow they are not there. Shri Vishnachakati Thakur writes in the commentary, Tadrisha Samrajya Sampatti Labheu Tahar Bhakti te Alasya va Pratinidhi Arpan Chilona Taha Boletechen Evang Ityadi. प्रतिदिनई ताहार ए रूप कर्म कलाप अर्थात स्मरण कीर्तन मंदिर मार्जन आदि सकल कर्म निजेई करिया पृथ्वी पालन करते हैं. Ambarish Maharaj was ruling the kingdom. How he was doing it? Even though he was the sole proprietor of the entire property, in order to perform devotion, he was not lazy. Nor has he employed anyone to perform those devotional activities like cleaning the temple or doing puja of the Lord, offering flowers, all these things. He has not engaged in representative to do that, nor has he shown any kind of laziness towards it, even though he is the ruler of the entire planet Earth. Means he would do all these devotional activities that we heard through ears hearing, through eyes seeing, through hands cleaning, all these things, whatever we heard yesterday, he would do this every day unfailingly. Unfailingly he would do this without, without showing any symptoms of laziness and without, appointing any representative for this activity. He would do this every day. किरूप कर्म समूह ताहते बोलते चेन अधोक्षजे अर्थात अतीन्द्रिय तत्व भगवान श्री कृष्णे समस्त श्रोत्र प्रभृति इंद्रिय वृत्तिर सहित मनेर जे भाव अर्थात रति जहाते उत्पन्न है तादृश कर्म समूह. So what kind of activities he has engaged himself in? He engaged in the activities through which he would get attachment to Adhokshaja, Supreme Lord. Adhokshaja means he who is beyond the knowledge of the sense organs. He is called Adhokshaja. Akshaja means, Akshaja Jnana means the knowledge of the senses. It's called Akshaja Jnana. Akshaja means fallible, material. That is possible through the material sense organs. Akshaja, he is beyond the perception of the material sense organs. That's called Adhokshaja. Or Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes the definition of Adhokshaja. One who reserves the right of not being exposed to the material sense organs. Means he reserves the right of not, it's not like we cannot understand him with our senses. He reserves the right of not being exposed to the material sense organs. That is Adhokshaja. So, here Ambarish Maharaj engaged himself in the activities that are giving attachment towards Adhokshaja. Because any activity that we perform, if it is not giving us any impetus to or attachment to Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, Vishwakshena Kathasoya na utpadayet yadi ratim. If it does not provoke one to the listening of Harikatha again and again, Shrama eva hi kevalam, all those activities are simply useless labor. Any activity we may perform, but if that activity is not, promoting us towards hearing the glories of Supreme Lord more and more, then it is a useless labor. We are cleaning the temple, we are chanting, we are doing our Gayatri, we are eating prasad, we are doing all the activities which are supposedly devotion. But if they are not, prompting us, if they are not, taking us towards listening the glories of Supreme Lord again and again, then it is a useless labor. What it means is that any activity, if we perform devotional activity, that will automatically make one develop love towards Harikatha. Love or attachment towards Harikatha is like a litmus test. You know litmus test, right? To tell whether how much devotion one has got. Whether we have the desire to hear Harikatha or not. That will tell how much of our devotion has been accepted and how much of those activities are material. The more we, perform devotional activities, the more we develop the taste to hear about Supreme Lord. And the more we hear about Supreme Lord, the more we will be, interested to perform His service. They are hand in hand. If we are losing interest in performing Hari Bhajan, take it for in writing that we are not hearing Harikatha properly. If we are losing interest in Hari Bhajan, losing interest in chanting the holy name, losing interest in cleaning the temple, whatever service we are doing, if we are losing interest in that particular devotional activity, one has to know it for certain that one is not listening Harikatha properly. And if one is not developing the taste to hear Harikatha, know it for certain that whatever devotional activity he is doing is not doing in the right spirit. Harikatha is as important as service. Listening Harikatha is as important as performing service. In fact, it is more important. Because only through ears we will get attachment to the Supreme Lord. We will know about the glories of Supreme Lord and get attachment to His lotus feet, and thus will get the impetus to serve Him more and more. If we have not known the glories of the person, how would we even want to serve Him? Nobody would want to. So, here, Adhokshaja, the Supreme Lord who is beyond the knowledge of the sense organs, in order to get attachment to Him, Ambarish Maharaj was performing all his activities. Means his target, his goal was to get attachment to the Supreme Lord, not to the kingdom that he is ruling. Even though he has got such a vast, huge kingdom, still it was not his interest to get attached there. He was completely detached there. কেমন শ্রীকৃষ্ণ তাহাতে বলিতেছেন আধি যজ্ঞে তপস্যা জ্ঞানাদি হইতেও অধিক যজ্ঞ বলিতে পূজা যাহার তাহাতে. He who is known by worship, not by yajna, tapasya, etc., by penance, by sacrifice, etc., but he who is worshipped through the process of devotion, that's Sri Krishna. কি প্রকারে তাহাতে বলিতেছেন তন্নিষ্ঠ বিপ্রাভিহিতঃ হরিভক্তিনিষ্ঠ ব্রাহ্মণগণের দ্বারা অভিহিত. Being, advised by the priests who are devotees. He has performed devotion by the advice of the priests who themselves are devotees, which means it's very, very essential for one to be guided by the devotees always. তুমি অষ্টপ্রহরী অবিচলিত চিত্তে सर्वतो भावे श्री हरिर भजना करो एवं राज्य कर्मे स्वनियुक्त योग्य पुरुषेर द्वारा ही पृथ्वी शासन करो. What are these priests advising? They are telling that every day without fail, continuously you engage yourself in Hari Bhajan only. This is the goal of life. You engage yourself completely all the 24 hours in the day in the service of Supreme Lord. And you take care of the kingly duties through your representatives. You see who is a eligible person for this, you give this responsibility to him and let him rule, and you yourself engage in the devotional activities. In this manner the priests have advised, whereas we do just the opposite. All ruling activities, everything I will do myself, but worship someone else will do, devotion someone else will do. We heard the example that the businessman, they do like this. They have a temple in their room, in their house, but they employ some priest to come and do daily puja or read some scriptures and then go away, and they give monthly salary to him. But they themselves sit at the cash counter. That is more affectionate to them rather than the Lord. But here the priests, what they advised, you should engage in Krishna bhajan and you should deploy some representatives to take care of your kingdom. এই রূপ শিক্ষিত হইয়া অর্থাৎ ভগবত ভক্ত ব্রাহ্মণ গণের উপদেশানুসারে যোগ্য প্রতিনিধি দ্বারা তিনি রাজ্য পালন করতেন. In this manner, being advised by these devotee priests, he engaged some eligible representatives to perform kingly activities or ruling activities, and he himself engaged in devotion. ईजे अश्वमेधैर अधियज्ञमीश्वरं विभूत्यो उपचितांग दक्षिणैः ततैर्वशिष्ठासित गौतमादिभिः धन्वन्यभिस्त्रोतमसौ सरस्वतीं. महाराज अम्बरीश मरुप्रदेशे सरस्वती प्रवाहयुक्त प्रदेशे अश्वमेध यज्ञ द्वारा यज्ञेश्वर श्री हरिर आराधना करितेन. So in the desert area where there was a stream of Saraswati flowing, at that place Maharaj Ambarish had started a Ashwamedha Yajna, a horse sacrifice yajna, at this place for the pleasure of Sri Hari. ওই যজ্ঞের অঙ্গ ও দক্ষিণা মহৎ ঐশ্বর্যের দ্বারা রচিত হইত. And whenever he performed this Ashwamedha Yajna, all the limbs of this, yajna, sacrifice, were performed with great grand opulence. And also dakshina, he used to give honorarium to all those priests who took part in that very grand way. He was not miserly to spend money on these activities or even to give honorarium to the brahmanas. Vashishta, Asita, Gautama Prabhriti Pratinidhigan oi yajner vistar koriten. And the great munis and the rishis like Vashishta Muni, Asita, Gautama, all these great rishis, they themselves used to participate in that. They used to perform this yajna. These are the great rishis. अर्थात महाराज अम्बरीश यज्ञादि व्यापारे आसक्त ना होइया नियुक्त থাকিতেন এবং প্রতিনিধি দ্বারা ওই সকল কাজ সম্পাদন করিতেন. The meaning is that Ambarish Maharaj was personally not engaged in performing the sacrificial activities. His representatives were performing it, these great rishis and munis, they were performing, but he himself was engaged in devotion. Means, in a kingdom, the king is supposed to perform these sacrifices, etc. This is one of the kingly duties. Because in the scriptures there are various duties mentioned for the Kshatriyas. Now, if the king himself does not perform such activities, then his subjects or the future coming generations, they will also not take any attention to such instructions of the scriptures. Therefore, it is the king's responsibility to follow the instructions in the scriptures for the not only for the welfare of his subjects but also keeping in mind the future generations. So Ambarish Maharaj was personally engaged in the service of Supreme Lord, but still he performed these sacrificial activities for the sake of following the scriptural injunctions, but these were performed through some representatives like Vashishta, Gautama, Asita, etc., not himself directly. Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur writes in the commentary, Seirupa Rajyadhikarochito Ashwamedadi Yagyer Anushtan Adi Bharater Nai Nirabhiman अम्बरीशेर प्रतिनिधि द्वाराई संपादित होइयाछिलो इहा बोलितेछेन इजे इत्यादि. See, राज्याधिकारोचितो अश्वमेध. Krishna Chakravarti Thakur writes that it is, essential for a king to perform these sacrifices. Even Lord Ramchandra performed it. Why? Because if he does not perform it as a Kshatriya, others will not follow it. यद्यद आचरति श्रेष्ठ तत्ततेव इतरो जन सयत् प्रमाणम कुरुते लोकस्तत् अनुवर्तते. Ordinary people, they simply follow what great people do, thinking that this is what is to be followed or this is what is to be done. They think that as a proof or an evidence that because he has done, I will also do. Therefore, Krishna tells Arjuna, my dear Arjuna, you are a Kshatriya. And today, if you run away from the battlefield, the future coming generations, they will also see, oh, okay, this option is available. If I cannot fight, I can also run away from the battlefield. They think like this. But if they are killed in the battlefield, yet it is glorious, they will not be able to take it. Or Kshatriya should never give up his, tendency to protect his own persons or protect dharma, religiosity. It is the duty of a king to protect dharma. If you yourself go away, oh, adharma is very strong, I cannot fight, therefore let me go away from this place. Kshatriya should not do like this. If those who are, standing in the border, India-Pakistan border or Ukraine-Russia border, if they think that, oh, our opposite, army is very, very strong, let us, surrender, let us give up our arms, let us surrender to them, then he is not called Kshatriya. But on the other hand, by fighting, if he loses his life, he is honored by the country. Even though he is living by surrender, for the rest of his life, people will only hate him. But if he dies by fighting, his honor is always there in the country. He is remembered for lifetimes together. In a similar manner, it is the duty of a Kshatriya to perform these activities, so that the next generation, they would also follow. So, these are Rajya Adhikara Uchita Karma. These are the activities that are befitting a king or a person who is ruling a great kingdom, emperor. It's essential for them. So, he is performing Ashwamedha Yajna. But how is he performing this Ashwamedha Yajna? He's telling that Bharater Nai Nirabhiman. Just like Bharat, Nirabhiman, without any false vanity or ego, that I am the performer. Bharata, completely, aloof from all these mundane, identities or designations. In a similar manner, Ambarish Maharaj also performed. ओई यज्ञेर अंग समूह ओ प्रभूत दक्षिणा महावैभव द्वारा संवर्धित एवं वशिष्ठ प्रभृति स्वप्रतिनिधि ऋषिगणेर द्वारा विस्तृत होइयाछिलो. So all these fire sacrifices, they were performed with in a grand manner, with great pomp, in a very, very grand way they were performed. And the great sages like, Asita, Vashishta, Gautama, etc., they themselves used to directly represent those, sacrificial activities. Dhanvani, Jalashunya Deshe, Saraswati Nadir Shroter, प्रतिकूले यज्ञादि कर्म अनुष्ठित होइयाछिलो किंतु निजे ताहा होइते विदुरे स्वीय राजधानीते अविचलित चित्ते श्री भगवानेर परिचर्यादि करितेन इहा भुजिते जायते छे. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is telling that where is this particular sacrificial activity performed? In a desert on the banks of Saraswati, means where Saraswati river is flowing. In the deserts they are performing. Means Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says that very, very far away from his kingdom or his capital place, this yajna is being performed. But he himself was sitting in his capital engaging in devotional activities. So what Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is telling, that we need to understand from here that he himself was engaged in devotional activities, but he engaged the Rishis, Munis, etc. in the sacrificial activities that are befitting a king. Yasya kratushu girvanai sadasya ritvijo janaha tulya rupaschanimisha vyadrishyanta suvasasaha. Ambarisher yagye सुवस्त्रे विभूषितो सदस्य वर्ग होता उद्गाता ब्रह्मा ओ अध्वर्यु प्रभृति ऋत्विगण देवतादिगेर न्याय अनिमेष होइया अर्थात दर्शनोत्कंठाय निमेष शून्य दृष्टिते यज्ञ दर्शन करितेन. So when Ambarish Maharaj was performing this yajna, or he was making the his own subjects, the Rishis Munis perform the yajna, there are 4 important persons in the yajna. They are called Ritviks. The 4 important persons that are required in the yajna, they are called Ritviks. They are Hota, Udgata, Brahma and Adhvaryu. We heard these terms previously, but I am sure we might have forgotten. Hota means he is the one who makes arrangement for the sacrifice. All the arrangements, like in the earthen pot, the rice is filled, and then they put the mango leaves, and then the coconut and banana trees, etc. And then they are nicely decorated. All the things, whatever are the preparatory activities, performers of that, they are called hotas. They are experts in doing this. They are called hotas. This is also Ritik. This is a part of yajna. Therefore, they are also brahmanas, not ordinary persons. And the other are udgatas. Udgata means in the Samaveda, all the glories of Supreme Lord are there, and all the Vedic hymns. Sama means music. Samaveda basically talks about music. Music here means meter, in which meter the mantras are to be chanted, recited. There is a meter of chanting those. If the meter is wrong, then the meaning will be wrong. It's not simply depending on the word there is a meaning, or depending on the letter there is a meaning. Depending on the meter you pronounce, the meaning is different. Just like in ordinary saying also, go. Go. There is a difference in the meaning with the meter you pronounce it. Go. Go. Isn't it? There is a difference in the meaning. So in a similar manner, in the Vedic hymns also, there is a difference in the meter. When it is pronounced in a different way, then they are understood differently. So Udgatas are those who are expert in singing the Samaveda hymns for the glorification of the Lord. During Yajna, this recitation of the hymns is very essential. So, Udgatas are the ones who sing these Vedic mantras. Incantation is called? Is that the right word? Incantation? No? I think so. Okay. I remember faintly that Guru Maharaj used to use the word incantation. Brahma. Brahma is the one who is looking after the overall, activities. Whether ghee is there, whether it is being done properly, the firewood that is required, whether it is there or not, all the essential things the Brahmanas are performing properly or not. This, he's like an overlooker. He's looking after everything. If everything is there properly or not, he's the one who is performing the sacrifice, and then he is looking after the entire event. And Advaryu is basically the ones who are performing the yajna, like putting in the ghee in the water, in the fire, etc. They are the ones who are performing. So these are the four, ritviks that are required for the yajna. Now, what is being said in this verse is, when Ambarish Maharaj was performing, you're seeing the meaning of incantation?
Yeah, it's quite funny.
Funny?
Yeah.
Okay.
It sort of works. It's a series of words said as a magic spell or charm. There's a bunch of example of witches.
Okay.
But it makes sense though.
It makes
The
sense.
mantras are
Hmm.
calling-
Yes, yes. They're magical words only. So I remember Guru Maharaj used to use the word incantation. So these four means the Hota, Udgata, Brahma and Advaryu. These four persons and also other members who have participated in this fire sacrifice, all of them, including the Rishis and the Devatas, they would all witness the sacrifice with unblinking eyes. Means, here it is being said that Ambarish Maharaj would perform these sacrificial activities in such a grand manner that whoever had participated, nobody would want to even miss a moment. They would all see with unblinked eyes. And they are all, dressed up so nicely with beautiful ornaments and beautiful dresses they are decorated with, and they would see the entire event just like the demigods. All other persons they see with unblinked eyes or without blinking the eyes. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes in the commentary, गीर्वाणै ताहार यज्ञ समूहे देवता गणेर सहित सदस्य और ऋत्विकगण के तुल्य रूप देखा गया छिलो. Girvanai means, here Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, during the time of the sacrifice, the demigods as well as the other members and the rishis, the ritviks, all of them are put on the same category. Same category means all of them are seeing without blinking their eyes. Not a single person would want to miss any moment that is going on in the event. So they are all put in the same category means, still Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains, यदियु देवता गणेर चक्षुर निमेश थाकेन ना बोलिया वैशिष्ट्य रही आछे. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur tells one thing that even I have not heard before. The demigods have no eyelids. They don't blink the eyes. They have no eyelids like humans have got. So I heard for the first time actually. They don't have the eyelids, means they can see constantly. Like that, all other members are also seeing as if they have no eyelids. That is how they are all compared together. The demigods, ordinary members and the ritviks, they are all compared together because devatas anyway they have no eyelids, and all the other living beings they are also seeing, and the rishis they are also witnessing this yajna as if they also have no eyelids, means they are not blinking the eyes. तथापि ए स्थले यज्ञकर्मे विविध आश्चर्यदर्शनेर औत्सुक्यता हेतु they are so much enthusiastic to witness all those amazing events going on in the yajna that सदस्य गणेर चक्षुर निमेश छिलोना बोलिया शकलेई समरूप होइया छिलन. Even those ordinary persons, they had no eyelids. As if it had, they also have no eyelids, they are seeing. Means with that enthusiasm to see all the amazing events going on in that particular sacrifice. अर्थात मनुष्य गणऊ अनिमेष होइया यज्ञ दर्शन करते छिलेन. स्वर्गो न प्रार्थितो यस्य मनुजैर अमर प्रियः शृण्वद्भिरुपगायन्ति उरुत्तमः श्लोक चेष्टितम्. अंबरीशेर पाल्यलोक समूह उत्तम श्लोक भगवानेर लीला कथा श्रवण और कीर्तन कुरिते कुरिते सुरप्रिय स्वर्ग प्रार्थना करते हैं. And in this verse, Sukadeva Goswami is speaking about what is the mood of the subjects of Ambarish Maharaj. So far we heard about Ambarish Maharaj, how he was so much devoted to Supreme Lord and how he was performing only devotion, and he made the Rishis, Munis, they perform the sacrificial activities. But now in this verse, it's being talked about what is the mood and what are the activities of the subjects of Ambarish Maharaj. Palyaloka Samuha, the Ambarishas, those who are ruled by Ambarish Maharaj, they are also constantly hearing and speaking the glories of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. They are also speaking about the Lord and constantly hearing about Supreme Lord, and Surapriya Swarga Prarthana Kurtana, and even they were not interested in the heavenly planets. Like even demigods want, like Indra, he wants to hold his seat as a leader of heavenly planet. Other demigods, they want to live in the heavenly planets. So that planet which is very dear to the demigods, even that was not aspired by the followers of Ambarish Maharaj. This is the impact of associating with a devotee. In the company of a devotee, he himself is engaged in hearing and speaking the glories of Supreme Lord. When one comes in his company, or those who are ruled by him, they were also engaged in such activities that they had no desire to even attain heavenly pleasures. Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes on the commentary, Yasya Manujaihi Maharaj Ambarisher Palita Konojanai Swargalo Kamna Kurtana. Nobody, not even a single person ruled by Ambarish Maharaj desired to attain heavenly planets. They had no desire for heavenly pleasures. यदि बोलें तारा की स्वर्गीय भोग होते अधिक भोग प्राप्ति ते कामना करते ना. So does it mean that they aspired for pleasures or the opulences even superior to heavenly planets? They are not aspiring for heavenly planets means they must be aspiring for something even higher. That's what people like us think. Is not interested in that particular job, which means that maybe he got a better job, isn't it? That's what we interpret as. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is telling that they are not interested in heavenly pleasures. Does it mean that probably they are aspiring for even superior to heavenly pleasures? Tahate bolte che na, no, they are not interested in any of those things. Sarvada भगवान श्री हरिर चरित समूहेर श्रवण और कीर्तने मत थाका है ताहादेर चित्ते कृष्णेतर विषयेर वासनाई छिलना. Because they were constantly engaged in speaking and hearing the glories of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, there was no trace of enjoyment in their hearts. They had no desire whatsoever to enjoy anything in this material world because they were constantly hearing and singing the glories of Supreme Lord, being ruled by Ambarish Maharaj. So this is the very, very special characteristic of a devotee, that he, wherever he is, he simply influences all the persons in his presence to be free from any kind of material desires. So here, by the influence of Ambarish, by the devotion of Ambarish, even the his subjects, they would not desire to attain heavenly pleasures. Here is the paper. Okay. So we will stop here and then continue on Monday. Tomorrow, in a while, I'm going to Calcutta. 2 weeks ago, I wanted to go, but I couldn't go. I had come back. So I hope I'll be able to reach Calcutta today. If that happens, then tomorrow there is no Harikatha. If again I have to come back, then there will be Harikatha again. So, as of now, there is no Harikatha. Tomorrow and day after, Monday, we will have Harikatha. Okay. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग गांधर्विका गिरिधारी श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन पंचतत्वात्मक श्री गौर हरि की जय। परमाराधितम पतित पावन स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति वल्लभ तीर्थ गोस्वामी श्री महाराज की जय। नित्य लीला प्रविष्टोम विष्णुपाद प्रमुख स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति दयित माधव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। जगत गुरु श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की जय। श्री श्री रूपानुग गुरु वर्ग की जय। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की जय। श्री कृष्ण द्वैपायन वेदव्यास महामुनि की जय। जय श्री श्री अम्बरीश महाराज की जय। जय श्रीमद् भागवत श्रवणकारी भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री हरिनाम प्रभु की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल।